You're alive. Yep, thanks. It's working this time. Come up first, Pop. I thought we could turn the volume up a bit. Well, it looks like we can't. Yeah, I don't know. Let's stay with this. I right. Yeah, well, I'm just putting this up today um, because I'm going to be going back finishing the English wheel tomorrow. Well, I'm still a little bit crook. I thought I had COVID, but it's not. It's just a cold. Bit of a cooked guts. My neighbours had a COVID. Next to my neighbour, this side of us, had a dose of bad. Yeah, yes, said it was like a cold, so we'll see how things go. I said, I've only got a machine wheel a bit better. I'm still waiting for a set of dies to come. Hi, how you going? See, one popped in. Yeah, this is live feed. If you want to have a chat, just uh, say something on the right hand side. Bye. Bloody hell. Yeah, mainly talk about anything. Cars, motorcycle, whatever you want to build. I can try and help if I can. As you all know from my channel, I make a lot of my own tools. Yeah, you do get some people just have a quick flash in the pan, like that's called a hit. I think one hit. I have a lot of hits. Hi, what's up? Oh, nothing much. Still kicking along. That's, how are you? SED said. Yeah, something. Um, I'm just trying to get this live feed. I'm just experimenting with live feed at the moment, seeing when's the best time to put one up. Like I said, most of my stuff is all US. I think I come from Australia, so I said I think I've got a few Australians. Good here, just getting over the COVID. You are. I'm glad. I'm I'm glad I didn't know whether I had it or not, but I didn't have none of the symptoms from it, just as a normal cold, just a bit crooked in the top of my head. And then I had a bout of diarrhea, and it got worse and worse. So that's why I haven't been putting any videos up. Just sitting here. My next door neighbour's had it. Um, well, I can't say where she works or anything, but she got sick, and she said it was just like a common cold because she'd had both needles, the vaccination needles. Um, so I've been vaccinated both mine. I've got to go back for a third one on the 27th, I think. I'm not sure. So how bad is it over where you are or where you come from? SCD said. Well, it's saying I'm talking to one bloke said, yeah, there was like, I mean, lots of 3 weeks. Shit. Yeah, I've been like this for a couple of weeks, but I'm already got a couple of medical problems that when I get a cold, it turns to pneumonia or whatever. It makes me crook as a dog. Sometimes I don't even feel like I want to get up and do anything. It knocks me right off my feet. Mm. Yeah, you still getting over it? 3 weeks. Shit. What's TASTE? 3 weeks. Yeah, that's the thing I hate is laying down. I don't want to be in bed all the time. I, mm, I got a little counter up in the corner here where SED said not even register in the corner. Live feed tells you how many people coming on. Like one come up before and then it disappeared. Now I've got one on talking and there's nothing up there. Weird. I put my normal message up the top. Hello, everyone. I spelled it wrong again. My big fat fingers get in the road when I'm typing, and I hit it's a B, supposed to be ERY, not a W. I hit the W instead of the E. Like a bad cold, and I from so no fun in yeah, but no. Uh, yeah, no fun at all. So what project you got? No, I only keep this open for about an hour, about a half hour to an hour. I had a 66 input solar SOLD. Sold it. Okay, cool. Impala. Cool. Not a bad car. Yeah, my dad used to have a 62 Chevy Bel Air. It was a four door actually. Um, had a 327 in it, white with red interior. Bloody nice car. He used to look after it really good. Then he sold it to my brother. And then my brother got rid of it to some restorer place and they took it and restored it. And I said, I used to have one. I got off a bloke. He had it for over 35 years. Cool. Yeah, that's a. I feel I know what you mean by keeping the one car. My little car that I'm being gonna restore, put back to on the road is a Ford Cortina. It's a greying car, but it used to be a six cylinder, and I put a 302 Cleveland in it, but I had trouble with the Cleveland, and I took it out and I found out it had the wrong size water pump pulley on it, and it was overheating. It's all right while it was idle, and it never got hot at all. Once you put some revs into it, it used to boil the guts out of it because it was pumping the water through that fast. It wasn't cooling it down. So I put it in a. I landed. I took the heads and everything off it and sold them. It was a 4V Cleveland out of a GDHO Falcon over here. We used to have a XY Falcon. It was the Cleveland version. The first ones were a Windsor. So I've gone back to putting a Windsor in my Cortina. I said I've got everything except for the sump and a few engine parts. I'm going to put out for sponsors to see if I can get my engine done and to help me build the car because I want to put a root. Is it one of these underbonnet superchargers to fit on some of the guys from who was it? Skid Factory put one on that blue Falcon before they pulled the motor out of it and put that alloy B8 in it. I'm a Ford man. I said a Windsor is a tough little engine, but you can't over rev them. You don't want to go revving to 8 or 9,000 revs. They don't like it. Neither does any other engine really, except for them Japanese overhead cam motors. They'll rev like crimey. I had I got a Ford Explorer which is twin overhead cam, and I said that thing's got some kahunas in low gears, but it it's got the speed limiter on it. It doesn't. You just press the power button and that deletes that, and she'll rev right around past 6,000. So, and she scoots, but um, at the moment she's sitting in the shed doing in the carport underneath the carport, waiting for me to put new body mounts in. This LS engines are great. Um, Yeah, they're good engines. The LS, yeah, for a Chevy engine, yeah, excellent. But I'm not a LS putting in a Ford. No, I'm just a Ford man and a Chevy. I don't mind Chevy engines. I said I've only ever owned two Australian cars, and that was HG panel van with 253 panel van and HQ. It was a Monaro, but it was a four door, but it just had a different badging on it. It just had a Monaro on the boot. Didn't have GDS, it just had Monaro. And on the side guards, it never had flutes, just had Monaro. Had all the dash and all the gear in it. And it was wild and purple and black. I thought it was an SS, but it wasn't an SS neither. But it was a Monaro, but it was a different, come out of the factory way someone ordered it. LS engines are getting popular. Every one, yeah, they put them in anything. I noticed on one of the shows that I watch is what do they call him? Yeah, he's putting an LS in a '57 Chevy at the moment, Mister Heavy Chevy. Yeah, he's putting in a LS in that LS6, I think it is, and his missus is '57 Chevy. I said that's just it's supposed to work, but why pull apart a perfectly good working car? Well, I thought a perfectly good working car. Um, he could have done all the alterations and left the original engine in it, but they want power and reliability. Well, they're just as reliable. I said I've got cars, my car, I could get in it, put the motor I got in the shed, put it straight in. It's got electronic ignition. It's going to have a Wiron supercharger on it, fuel injected. I'm going to see if I can get a Heltec system for it, but it all depends if Heltec want to sponsor me for it. It gets a bit expensive. I said they all be doing these fancy race cars and all the going overseas and racing them. I said they do pretty good, the boys. I watch a lot of them. FRW. Yeah, they cool engine. Petty Ford wouldn't build. Well, they have got the Boss engine. I said I wouldn't mind that Coyote motor to shove in my car, but nah, I don't think it'd fit. D U W A T C. Watch SLOPPY something. Well, sometimes I go through a lot of videos. I said, especially at night time, when I go through and do all the um, notification ones come in. I said, some nights it takes me all night to go through them. I've had a late night last night, and I'm going to have another late night tonight. I've got 20 more videos coming through. Um, I said, a lot of them, some of them I watch, some of them I don't leave a comment mostly. I'll give them a thumbs up and I'll share it with Facebook. And I do that to everybody. Doesn't matter if I watch them and I'm not subscribed to the channel. I said I'll still give them a thumbs up and share it to Facebook for them. I said I don't give no one a bad rap on the knuckles for anything. They're doing their best at what they do. I said I watch a lot of sailboat stuff. I don't just watch cars. I said I love building cars and motorcycles, mate. I a lady here up in town, she bought a heap of motorcycle parts, and every part that was there was worth a lot of money. She had a lot of parts. She slowly sold them all. She had brand new seats for Suzuki's, Hondas, you name it, she had it. Do you watch SLIOB? I can't recall the name. I can't read or write too well. 600 HP for a Ford. Yeah, I was pushing 480 at the back wheels, 600 at the crank, 400 and something at the back wheels. I said the first time I run it, I said I lifted the front wheels off the ground and broke traction on the passenger side. Yeah, the diff let go. I hadn't tensioned the diff down properly, and I just run it down the street and come back, and I give her a gut load, and gut load was too much for it. Let the diff go. When it lifted up, let go, and she speared her off towards the left hand side of the road. You put it through a fence. I thought it was fun. I was a lot younger too. That's over 15 years ago. Nearly 20 years ago. 600 horsepower. That's a handful of engine. Even in a heavy car, that'd be all right in a big heavy American car. Like American cars need a lot of horsepower. They're big tanks, mate. They're massive compared to our cars. I said, well, my car's a 1979 Ford Cortina. I said, England over there got them, all they got them with the four-cylinder engines, and they weren't worth cracker here in Australia. Said you stop them or leave them for 6 months, go and start it up and drive it down the road. You might make it to the corner because they have trouble with the idle or the cam on the crank, where the crank drives a dummy shaft for the distributor. That dries out and it doesn't get oil pumped into it, and it shears it clean out of them, and they go bang. My stepson, we had three motors. The motor was in his car, the motor was in another one, and another one. We went through three motors to and still didn't get one. We couldn't work out what was doing it, why it wouldn't pick the oil up, and it just shear them off. I ended up with three Cortina bodies, all one TE and two TFs. I sold one TF to a guy and scrapped the other one and kept all the good parts and scrapped the other and pulled the other one apart as well. And I kept everything from mudguards, bumpers, complete everything. I didn't keep most of all of it. I got rid of most of it, but I kept all the plastic because, as you can see, I got pictures on YouTube. on my computer, I got some pictures of my car when it was done. With the upholstery. 4.8 was a turbo, 9-second quarter mile. Yeah, wow, that's good. Excellent. That's got some oomph. 4.8 turbo, 9-second quarter mile. Cool. Yeah, I said, I don't know what mine has even run quarter mile. I know I could get probably 8, 9, but I wouldn't know. I can't say. I wouldn't mind getting a 7, but then they kick you out. My car ain't got a roll cage. Hit me up. Yeah, I will. I'll, I'll keep it. I'll, I'll just copy it and hold it there. Right. As soon as I finish with this live chat, I'll go and have a look. Well, yeah, mate. I cut and pasted and I kept it. I'll put it in my file. His name, so yeah. Yep. No roll cage. Yeah. Only allow you. I think it's 14 seconds. If you go under 14, you get kicked out. They don't like you running nines if you can't with no roll cage. No, that'd be well. My car's got no roll cage, but it's got a frame rail kit underneath it to hold the gonna be put in the frame rail kit, and all the mountings come off that frame rail kit. Instead of having the original mounts, I'm going to change it all and make it a lot stronger underneath. I don't want the frame to twist. I think it's got a little bit of a twist in it. I've got to put it down and lock it down on some stands and measure her up and give her a bit of a twig if it does. Because I've got a frame rail kitty, frame rail chassis straightener thing. It's built into the floor. It's the old school way of doing it. They don't have these big tables now you put your car on. I got no room for one anyhow, so I just bolt it to the concrete. And then I do a lot of measuring, a lot of tape work, marking the eye, marking the frame, and then measuring from the mark it all the way around. I've got to get a laser light so I can run the laser across so I can get the mark in the exact same spot on the other side. And all the way around it, you need that mark so you can get all 4 corners of the car shifted. I think it's got about, because when I built the car, I put a 1/2-inch spacer on top of the spring. What do you call that? Polyurethane. On top of the original, I pulled the original out, and I had 4 made, 2 1/2-inch ones and 2 inch, and they fit on like the original, but they're polyurethane. To help it sit, it was sitting a little bit cockeyed on one side. I thought it might have been a loose spring. The spring mightn't have been the right temperature tension, but
I haven't really checked it, but it rode good, drove excellent, except for the bloody wheels. The wheels were hooking onto the wheel studs because I had four-wheel disc brakes, and the disc on the front had a longer stud. I needed to have a shorter stud, but yeah, I'll get to it. I said I've got a couple of jobs to do this year. I've got to get done, and that's rebuild the back of my workshop to put the stuff that got to go in there away out of my road. So I got my paint booths done because once I get my car on the rotisserie, I'll be putting everything on the stands in that paint booth, and then I'll bring them out, sand them one at a time, get them ready. I'm just going to block sand them because there's no rust in it. I cut all that out 20 years ago, and none of it's come back. I've got to find some RS1 rust treatment because I'll treat where I'm putting mini tubs in it so I can run the wider wheels as soon as I can get a set. Yeah. Did you watch some of the summer nats over here? Did you see some of the crap they got to put up with down there now? They got Skid Lane. Everyone does kids in Skid Lane. No one's allowed to anymore. Police are coming there, mate, and they got security guards and kicking people out. Why do they put summer nats on if they got a skid lane where people drive their cars up and down, and if they do a skid, they do a skid? What's the summer nats for? Burnouts and skids, everything. Some of them guys go absolute irate, but we do it here like it's nothing to smoke a set of tyres back to canvas, a blow big tyre, blow them off. But they, I like watching some of the. I watched a lot of the car stuff going around down there, but that, the new. Yeah, I don't know. New GENE. I don't know, mate. Some of them words are a little bit big for me. I can't read them properly. Yeah, it's a real killer when you can't read or write real good. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the summer naps. I said I watch every year. I watch Bathurst. I said there's going to be a lot of things go haywire with cars and motorcycles. I said I got three, four bikes. I've got the CBR 900 double O. Then I got a GXXR 750K, which This is my best bike I got. It absolutely flies. She's 175 brake horsepower. She's been modified fairly well. It runs on the rev limiter. You can ride it on the rev limiter, but it doesn't like it. It just melts the exhaust off it. I'm allergic to bees, and I can't take antihistamine for a bee sting. I'm allergic to it as well. Not as bad as a bee though. A bee will kill me deader than a maggot within 24 hours to 48 hours if I don't get no pill medicine into me for it. I said, it's a pain in the butt. I rode through a flock of bees on my bike and in my glove. It went up my glove, underneath my jacket, and got me right here. And my arm was the size of my leg by the time I got 10 Ks. The lady at the shop gave me some antihistamine, gave me 4 tablets, and I took one. And I sat down for a couple of hours, and then I took another one, which I shouldn't have took the other one. I left to go into Nyngan. I went into Nyngan, sat down there and pulled up that night and had a sleep. Got up next morning, went back to nearly to the servo, about 150 Ks out of Broken Hill before I realised I was going the bloody wrong way. Off my guts I was. Crazy being a killer. Kill you. Yeah, I was off my guts. Cops pulled me over, female cop will pull me over. I run out of fuel on my bike coming back because I lost the plot, had zoned out, and being on the tablet and having my arm was pretty well buggered up, and one tablet the bee sting trying to really knock me about, and the tablet was making me fly high as a kite. So I pulled up, run out of fuel, got off the bike and took my jacket off, and the lady said that she saw my arm was like my leg, and she said, and I had no water, no nothing, and I was about 25 Ks from town. I was hoping to make it back to town, and I was going to check into a motel and sleep it off for a while, but I didn't. I end up pushing my bike into the bush and got putting it on the stand, and went and got me some fuel, brought it back, and I rode into town, filled my bike up with fuel, went out to a campsite, and stayed there overnight, and ended up couldn't go any further because the rivers were over with water. I tried, but the bike didn't like going underwater. So yeah, well, I'm gonna call it for the night, for the day anyhow, and everyone will be able to have a look at this. And to my only person that's come on today, thanks, mate. Good to have a chat. I said, I wish I had my little reader come in and sit down and read off camera. can read all these things. Have a good one. Yep. Thanks a lot, buddy. And you be safe. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.